Every person reaches a moment in life when they stop and ask a simple but life-changing question: why am I here? It is a question that has echoed through history, across every nation, every culture, and every generation. Some people hear that question early and spend their lives pursuing the answer. Others ignore it until years have passed, opportunities have disappeared, and they wake up wondering where all the time went. The truth is that your life will never become truly meaningful until your actions are connected to a purpose that is bigger than comfort, bigger than fear, and bigger than temporary success. Too many people drift through life without direction. They wake up in the morning, go to work, pay the bills, watch television, scroll through their phones, sleep, and repeat the same cycle day after day. Weeks become months. Months become years. Years become decades. One day they realize they have been busy without being productive, active without being intentional, alive without truly living. Activity alone is not progress. Motion alone is not achievement. Without purpose, even hard work can become a treadmill that keeps you exhausted without taking you anywhere. Purpose is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. It gives meaning to sacrifice. It gives energy to discipline. It turns obstacles into lessons instead of excuses. A person with purpose can endure temporary pain because they see a future worth fighting for. A person without purpose gives up at the first sign of difficulty because they cannot see beyond the present moment. Think about the people who have changed industries, inspired nations, built great companies, discovered groundbreaking ideas, or transformed communities. They were not necessarily the smartest people. They were not always the most talented. Many faced rejection, failure, criticism, and setbacks that would have discouraged the average person. What separated them was not luck. It was clarity. They knew what they wanted their lives to stand for, and every decision they made moved them closer to that vision. One of the greatest tragedies is not failure. The greatest tragedy is succeeding at something that does not matter to you. Imagine climbing a ladder for 30 years only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. Imagine reaching the top of your profession and realizing that your heart was never in it. Imagine earning wealth but losing your enthusiasm, your health, your relationships, or your sense of meaning along the way. Success without purpose feels surprisingly empty because achievement alone cannot satisfy the deepest needs of the human spirit. Purpose does not always arrive as a dramatic moment of inspiration. More often, it reveals itself through curiosity, service, persistence, and honest self-reflection. It grows stronger each time you pay attention to what energizes you instead of what merely entertains you. It becomes clearer when you stop asking, what is easiest, and begin asking, what is most valuable. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. Ask yourself what kind of problems you enjoy solving. Ask yourself what subjects naturally attract your attention. Ask yourself what people consistently seek your help for. Ask yourself what you would continue doing even if no one applauded you in the beginning. Hidden within these answers are clues to your purpose. Purpose is rarely about yourself alone. It almost always involves improving the lives of other people. Every lasting career, every respected business, every admired leader creates value for others. When your work solves real problems, meets real needs, or makes someone's life better, you become indispensable. The marketplace rewards value, and value begins with service. Many people spend years searching for the perfect opportunity while ignoring the opportunities already in front of them. They believe they must discover a magical calling before taking action. In reality, action creates clarity. You learn more about yourself by trying 10 different things than by spending 10 years thinking about them. Experience teaches what imagination never can. The path becomes visible only after you start walking. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of purpose. Fear whispers that you are too old, too young, too inexperienced, too educated, not educated enough, too poor, too late, or too ordinary. Fear specializes in convincing capable people to settle for less than they deserve. Yet fear has no power except the power you give it. Every successful person has experienced fear. The difference is that they refuse to let fear make their decisions. Courage does not mean you have no fear. Courage means your purpose is greater than your fear. When your reason for moving forward becomes stronger than your excuses for staying where you are, your entire life begins to change. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is built through repeated action despite uncertainty. There is another danger that quietly steals purpose from millions of people, and that is distraction. We live in a world filled with constant notifications, endless entertainment, and unlimited information. Never before has it been so easy to stay busy while accomplishing very little. Every hour spent consuming someone else's dreams is an hour not invested in building your own. Successful people guard their attention because they understand that attention is one of the most valuable resources they possess. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is scattered across hundreds of trivial activities, your results will also be scattered. If your attention is focused on one meaningful direction, your progress becomes remarkable. Purpose demands focus. It requires the discipline to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. Every meaningful goal comes with sacrifices. You cannot pursue everything at once. Every yes is also a no to something else. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand that concentration multiplies effectiveness. Many people wait for motivation before taking action. They say they will begin when they feel inspired. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, creates consistent results regardless of emotions. Purpose grows stronger each time you keep your promises to yourself. Every day you follow through, you strengthen your character. Every day you quit, you strengthen the habit of quitting. Your habits are quietly shaping your future. Small, daily actions may appear insignificant today, but compounded over months and years, they produce extraordinary outcomes. Reading 20 pages a day seems minor until you realize you have completed dozens of books. Saving a little money consistently seems ordinary until it becomes financial freedom. Exercising for 30 minutes appears simple until it transforms your health. Speaking kindly every day strengthens relationships that last a lifetime. Great lives are built one ordinary day at a time. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. People often overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 week and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Purpose gives direction to your habits, and your habits determine your destiny. One of the fastest ways to discover your purpose is to accept complete responsibility for your life. Stop blaming your upbringing, your economy, your education, your boss, your family, or your circumstances. Every moment spent blaming is a moment stolen from building. Responsibility is empowering because it reminds you that your future is largely determined by the choices you make today. Life is never perfectly fair. Some people begin with more advantages than others. Some face obstacles that seem impossible. But history repeatedly proves that circumstances do not determine destiny nearly as much as decisions do. Your response to difficulty matters more than the difficulty itself. Every setback contains a lesson if you are willing to look for it. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is one of the ingredients of success. Every mistake teaches you something valuable about what works and what does not. Every disappointment develops resilience. Every rejection strengthens determination if you refuse to let it define you. The most successful individuals develop the habit of asking empowering questions after setbacks. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They ask, what can I learn? What can I improve? How can I come back stronger? Those questions transform pain into progress. Purpose also requires vision. You must create a clear mental picture of the life you want to build. The clearer your vision becomes, the more confidently you make decisions. Every major achievement begins as an idea held consistently in the imagination, you move toward the pictures you repeatedly hold in your mind. Spend time imagining the person you want to become 5 years from now. Imagine how you speak, how you think, how you dress, how you manage your time, how you solve problems, and how you treat people. Imagine the contribution you are making to your family, your community, and your profession. That vision becomes a blueprint for your daily actions. Your environment also influences your sense of purpose. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth instead of mediocrity. Attitudes are contagious. Spend enough time with negative people and pessimism becomes normal. Spend enough time with ambitious, disciplined, and optimistic individuals, and excellence begins to feel natural. Choose your influences carefully. Every book you read, every conversation you have, every video you watch, every podcast you hear, and every friendship you maintain is shaping your future. Feed your mind with ideas that strengthen your vision instead of weakening it. Purpose also demands continuous learning. The world changes rapidly, and those who stop learning eventually stop growing. Make personal development part of your daily routine. Study your profession, improve your communication, learn leadership, strengthen your financial knowledge, expand your emotional intelligence. Every new skill increases your ability to create value. Remember that your income often reflects the value you provide. Increase your value and greater opportunities naturally follow. The marketplace consistently rewards competence combined with integrity. Integrity is essential because purpose without character eventually collapses. Your reputation is built over years and can be damaged in moments. Keep your word. Tell the truth. Honor your commitments. Treat people with respect whether they can help you or not. Character creates trust, and trust creates influence. Do not compare your journey with someone else's. Comparison steals joy and distracts you from your own mission. Every individual has different strengths, different experiences, different opportunities, and different timing. Focus on becoming a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Real competition is not with another person. It is with your own potential. One of the most valuable exercises you can practice is imagining yourself at the end of your life looking back over the years. What would matter most? Would you regret taking too many risks, or would you regret not taking enough? Would you remember the expensive possessions, or would you treasure the lives you touched? Would you celebrate playing it safe, or would you wish you had pursued the dreams that kept calling your name? Very few people regret working toward a meaningful purpose. Many regret postponing it. They waited for better circumstances, more money, greater confidence, or the perfect opportunity. The perfect moment never arrived because perfection is an illusion. Life rewards those who begin before they feel completely ready. Your purpose may evolve over time, but your commitment to growth should remain constant. Every season prepares you for the next one. Every challenge develops qualities you will need later. Sometimes what appears to be a detour is actually preparation for your greatest opportunity. Never believe that your past mistakes disqualify you from a meaningful future. Your history explains you, but it does not imprison you. Every new day offers another chance to make better decisions. The direction you choose today is more important than the direction you traveled yesterday. There is enormous power in making a definite decision. Once you decide who you intend to become, many smaller decisions become easier. Your priorities become clearer, your schedule becomes more intentional. Your spending reflects your values. Your friendships become more selective. Your daily actions begin aligning with your long-term vision. Purpose is not something you discover once and forget forever. It is something you strengthen every day through deliberate choices. Every morning, you either move closer to your highest potential or further away from it. Every conversation, every habit, every commitment, every decision either supports your purpose or distracts you from it. Time is your most precious asset because it cannot be replaced. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities lost may return in another form. Knowledge forgotten can be relearned, but 1 hour that passes is gone forever. The greatest cost of living without purpose is not simply lost income or missed promotions. It is the loss of irreplaceable years that could have been invested in becoming the person you were capable of becoming. The future belongs to people who act with intention instead of drifting with circumstances. They refuse to allow comfort to become their destination. They understand that the quality of their lives is shaped by the quality of their decisions. They know that purpose is not reserved for a fortunate few, but is available to anyone willing to think deeply, work consistently, serve generously, and persevere through adversity. Long before the world recognizes their success, they have already made the most important discovery of all. They know why they wake up each morning, and that reason gives meaning to every sacrifice, every lesson, every challenge, every victory, and every step they take toward becoming the person they were created to be. Once you have identified even a glimpse of your purpose, protect it with everything you have. The world is full of opinions, and not all of them deserve your attention. There will always be people who project their fears onto your future. Some will tell you your dream is unrealistic because they abandoned their own years ago. Others will encourage you to settle because your ambition makes them uncomfortable. Listen respectfully, but remember that advice should come from people who have earned the right to give it. Seek wisdom from individuals who have achieved the kind of life you aspire to build, people whose character matches their accomplishments. Purpose requires a willingness to stand apart from the crowd. Most people choose the familiar path because it feels safe. They prefer certainty over possibility. Yet every meaningful achievement began with someone who was willing to think differently, to act differently, and to persist long after others stopped believing. You do not need everyone's approval to succeed. You need clarity, commitment, and consistency. The moment you become serious about your purpose, your standards begin to change. You become more intentional with your time because you understand that every hour invested wisely compounds over the years. You stop asking, how can I pass the time, and start asking, how can I make this hour count? That single shift in thinking separates average performers from exceptional ones. Successful people think in terms of investment rather than consumption. They invest their energy, their attention, and their resources into activities that create a better future. They are willing to delay immediate gratification because they understand the extraordinary rewards of long-term discipline. While others are looking for shortcuts, they are building foundations. While others chase quick results, they focus on sustainable progress. There is an invisible law that operates in every area of life. What you repeatedly do becomes who you eventually are. Repeated thoughts become beliefs. Repeated beliefs become decisions. Repeated decisions become habits. Repeated habits become character. Character shapes destiny. This chain begins with what you allow into your mind every day. Guard your thinking carefully. If you constantly tell yourself that you are unlucky, incapable, or behind everyone else, your actions will eventually reflect those beliefs. If you tell yourself that you are learning, growing, improving, and becoming more capable each day, you begin acting with greater confidence and persistence. Your inner dialogue becomes the architect of your external results. Every worthwhile purpose demands growth, and growth is rarely comfortable. You cannot become stronger without resistance. Muscles grow by overcoming weight. Character grows by overcoming adversity. Leadership grows by accepting responsibility. Wisdom grows by learning from mistakes. If you avoid discomfort, you also avoid development. Temporary discomfort is often the price of permanent improvement. Many people spend years trying to eliminate challenges from their lives. The wiser approach is to become the kind of person who can handle greater challenges. Instead of praying for an easier life, prepare yourself to become stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. As your capacity increases, opportunities that once seemed impossible become manageable. One reason people lose sight of their purpose is that they underestimate the influence of daily decisions. They imagine that success or failure arrives through one dramatic event. In reality, life's direction is usually determined by thousands of small choices that appear insignificant in the moment. Choosing to read instead of wasting an hour online. Choosing to exercise instead of making another excuse. Choosing to learn a new skill instead of remaining comfortable. Choosing to save instead of spending impulsively. These choices quietly accumulate until they produce extraordinary differences between two people who once started in the same place. Your future self is being created right now. The person you become 5 years from today is already taking shape through the decisions you make this week. Every action casts a vote for the person you are becoming. Ask yourself repeatedly, does this choice move me closer to my purpose or farther away from it? That simple question has the power to transform your decision-making. Purpose also changes how you define success. Instead of measuring yourself only by money, titles, or possessions, you begin measuring yourself by contribution, growth, integrity, and fulfillment. Wealth is valuable, but wealth without meaning often produces emptiness. Achievement is rewarding, but achievement without purpose eventually loses its excitement. Lasting satisfaction comes from knowing that your abilities are being used to create something worthwhile. The greatest leaders understand that influence is earned through service. They ask, how can I help? How can I solve problems? How can I make people better because I was here? Ironically, those who focus on serving others often achieve greater financial success than those who pursue money alone. Value attracts opportunity. Excellence attracts recognition. Character attracts trust. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is writing your goals every day. There is something remarkable about translating thoughts into words. A written goal becomes more specific. It becomes measurable. It becomes real. Each morning, remind yourself what you are working toward and why it matters. Your subconscious mind begins searching for opportunities that align with your objectives. Review your goals regularly, but do not become discouraged if progress appears slow. Nature teaches patience. A seed spends a long time developing beneath the surface before anyone sees the first sign of growth. During that hidden season, important work is taking place. Your own development follows the same principle. Skills are being built, character is being strengthened, confidence is being earned. Much of your preparation happens before visible success arrives. Never mistake invisible progress for lack of progress. Every chapter you study, every presentation you practice, every difficult conversation you handle well, every promise you keep to yourself is strengthening your foundation. The world often notices the results, but it rarely sees the years of preparation behind them. Purpose also requires emotional maturity. You cannot allow every criticism to discourage you or every compliment to define you. Learn from feedback without becoming dependent on approval. There will always be critics, and there will always be supporters. Neither group should determine your identity. Let your values guide your actions instead of public opinion. Another essential quality is adaptability. Holding firmly to your purpose does not mean refusing to adjust your methods. Circumstances change, technology changes, markets change, industries evolve. The destination may remain constant while the path changes many times. Stay committed to your mission while remaining flexible in your approach. Many people abandon worthwhile dreams because the first strategy fails. Instead of changing their methods, they abandon their goals. Successful individuals understand the difference. They continue improving, experimenting, and learning until they discover a better way. Persistence is not repeating the same ineffective action forever. Persistence is remaining committed while becoming increasingly effective. Take ownership of your education. Formal education is valuable, but self-education often determines the height of your success. The moment you graduate from school should not be the moment you stop learning. Read biographies of accomplished individuals. Study psychology, communication, leadership, finance, negotiation, and history. Every subject adds another tool to your ability to create value. Curiosity is one of the greatest competitive advantages in life. Curious people ask better questions. They explore new ideas. They remain humble enough to admit they do not know everything. That humility keeps them growing long after others believe they have learned enough. There is tremendous power in surrounding yourself with accountability. Find people who challenge you to become better instead of encouraging excuses. Meet regularly with individuals who are committed to growth. Share your goals, discuss your progress, celebrate victories, analyze setbacks. Accountability transforms intentions into actions because someone else expects you to follow through. Remember that your purpose affects far more people than you realize. When you become disciplined, your children notice. When you become generous, your friends are influenced. When you pursue excellence, your colleagues are inspired. Every life creates a ripple effect. You never fully know how many people are watching your example or benefiting from your courage. Do not underestimate the importance of physical energy. Your body is the vehicle through which you pursue your purpose. Protect it. Eat wisely. Exercise consistently. Sleep adequately. Manage stress intelligently. A clear mind functions best in a healthy body. High achievement requires sustained energy, not occasional bursts of enthusiasm. Likewise, protect your emotional energy. Avoid unnecessary conflicts. Refuse to participate in endless gossip. Forgive quickly. Holding on to resentment drains mental resources that could be invested in creating a better future. Forgiveness does not excuse harmful behavior, but it frees you from carrying emotional burdens that slow your progress. Gratitude is another force that strengthens purpose. Gratitude does not mean ignoring problems. It means recognizing opportunities while solving problems. A grateful person notices resources that others overlook. Gratitude increases resilience because it reminds you that even during difficult seasons, there are reasons to continue moving forward. Develop the habit of reflecting at the end of each day. Ask yourself what you accomplished, what you learned, where you improved, and what you will do differently tomorrow. Small daily improvements create extraordinary long-term results. Excellence is rarely accidental. It is usually the outcome of regular evaluation followed by intentional adjustment. As your purpose becomes clearer, your confidence becomes quieter. You no longer feel compelled to prove yourself constantly because your identity is rooted in your mission rather than in other people's opinions. You work diligently whether applause comes or not. You continue improving whether recognition arrives immediately or years later. Your satisfaction comes from knowing you are becoming the person you decided to become. The world often celebrates overnight success, but behind nearly every remarkable achievement are countless unseen mornings of disciplined effort. There were early alarms when no one was watching, difficult decisions that nobody applauded, sacrifices that never appeared in headlines, and failures that became valuable teachers. When you understand this reality, you stop envying success and start respecting the process that creates it. Do not become discouraged because your progress seems slower than someone else's. Trees do not compete with flowers. Mountains do not compete with rivers. Each fulfills its purpose according to its own design and timing. Your responsibility is not to imitate another person's path, but to maximize the gifts, opportunities, and responsibilities entrusted to you. There will be seasons when your purpose feels distant. You may question yourself. You may wonder whether your effort is making any difference. During those moments, return to your fundamentals. Continue learning, continue serving, continue improving, continue acting with integrity. Continue showing up every day. Momentum is often rebuilt through simple disciplines practiced consistently. Every great accomplishment is achieved one decision at a time, one conversation, one book, one habit, one courageous step. Looking back, the journey appears remarkable, but while living it, most days seem ordinary. Do not underestimate ordinary days lived with extraordinary intention. Those are the days that quietly shape an extraordinary life. Imagine the impact if you committed yourself completely to your highest purpose from this day forward. Imagine where your skills could be in 5 years if you practiced deliberately every day. Imagine the relationships you could build by treating people with genuine respect and appreciation. Imagine the financial stability you could create by increasing your value year after year. Imagine the confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself consistently. None of these possibilities are reserved for a select few. They become available to anyone willing to exchange excuses for responsibility, hesitation for action, and comfort for meaningful growth. Your purpose deserves your full attention because your life is your greatest project. You are writing its story with every decision you make. The pages cannot be rewritten once they are lived, but each new day places a blank page before you. Fill it with actions that reflect your highest values. Fill it with courage instead of regret, discipline instead of delay, service instead of selfishness, learning instead of complacency, and determination instead of surrender. The years ahead will eventually reveal what today's choices have been building all along, and every intentional step you take now becomes another brick in the foundation of a life marked by significance, contribution, resilience, excellence, and unwavering commitment to becoming everything you are capable of becoming before your time is gone.